MIDI Editing 2. Now in this movie we're going to take a look at some of the advanced editing features that are apparent and in use in most all DAWs. Now they might vary from one to another, but the concepts are the same and many of the functions are very similar. So this time, instead of selecting notes here, we're going to go straight to the menus. And in Logic, each window has its own set of menus in addition to the original menus in the program. So first, by going to the Edit menu, we have our undo and redo, cut, copy, paste, but then we have a bunch of features of selecting portions of the MIDI events. And so we can use one of these to be more detailed on our selection. There's a lot of different options here, and we can select the empty regions, overlapped regions, a lot of things. So once something's selected, then we can do some processing to that. And that's where we move to the Functions tab. And basically, we have some quantized features which we'll be speaking about in the next movie. But we have copy MIDI events. We can adjust the note values individually, so we can select the highest note, correct some of the overlapping. Let's say you have bass notes that overlap and you want it to be like a bass player that is only playing one note at a time. You can edit that kind of thing in a general sense to the whole piece. You can split different notes to channels. If you record a drum set all at one time but then want to process those things separately, you could take all your snare hits and put them on a different channel. You can adjust your sustain pedal and edit that. And a lot of these things are in the transform menu here. So we have our transposition, and in this window we can actually toggle back and forth to the other functions that are available. So we have reverse position, velocity limiter, so we can kind of compress the velocity of that, of the whole selection. Fixed note length, so that's how long the note is. We can kind of adjust that. There's quantize, like I said, we'll discuss that later. Minimum note length, maximum note length. Humanize, half speed, double speed. Let's look at transposition first. Right now I've changed this to be 5 half steps up. And so if we select all the regions and then operate, now it has moved everything up 5 half steps. You can do it again. And again. Okay, now we'll go back a little bit. Okay, now we can do some other things. We'll do half speed, that's kind of fun. So now it's half the speed there. Kind of slowed it down. But everything is the same timing. It just takes twice as long to occur. We can do the same thing with double the speed, so you can play a really difficult passage slowly at half speed and then double it. So now this really difficult passage is really fast and people are really impressed because they think you did a great, amazing take and you're an amazing player. So there's a lot of great little tools here in MIDI editing that can help us to achieve better performance, also to humanize what we've done, to adjust what we've done, to make changes to it, but not just to individual notes, but more to a selection of notes, to the whole thing. And there's just some great tools. You know, basically, most anything that you want to do with MIDI that you can imagine, there's a way to do it to affect your performance, to make it better or worse, or just to tweak it in some crazy way.